Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome back, and welcome to my channel. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. Welcome in. This is a reading for Aquarius. We're in Aquarius season, and I am a little bit late getting going with these. I did put up your career and finance reading, and this now is a reading for family. So as I was meditating, focusing and concentrating on your energies, the cards that came out for family are, well, the first one is a little bit challenging. So I used the Soul's Journey lesson cards. So the first card out is failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. All right, so when this comes into play for a family message, of course, nobody is perfect. None of us are perfect. And also, please remember that this is a collective reading for the sign of Aquarius. This is not a one-to-one. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, it's okay if every message in a reading does not resonate with you. Okay, it's just impossible to do that when you're doing a collective reading. But for some of you, I'm feeling that in the family situation, there has been some sort of a challenge that has made you feel like you failed, either as a parent, a husband, a wife, a partner, and what have you. We've all been there, trust me. There are things that I wish I could go back and do differently with my kids. There are things that I could go back and wish I could go back and do differently with other relationships that I've had, things that I wish I'd handled better, conversations. So we've all been there. No relationship is perfect. But the message of the card is I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, right? So when we make mistakes as a husband, wife, mother, father, even a sister, brother, any type of family dynamic, we can learn from that, right? The number one thing about failure is you have to get up and try again. When you know better, you do better. Okay, Aquarius? So that's somebody out there needs that message. Like, don't let one challenge get you down and make you think that you are no good at being a parent or a spouse or what have you. Okay, you need to just move on and learn from that and just do better. And then from the Starry Beginnings Oracle, this beautiful, beautiful purple card, number 1, right? That is telling you, 1, new beginning. Life is an expression of you. Life is more than existing. Right, life is more than existing. So we have to remember to find joy. Like, sometimes we get into the mode of, like, for instance, I'll just tell you that yesterday was Thursday. I don't work on Fridays right now, so I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Well, kind of. I mean, I'm doing other things, chores around the house and what have you. But I was thinking, it's Thursday already, and I feel like it was just Thursday yesterday. Like, time goes by so fast because I get up, I walk, I load the wood stove, I get ready for work, I do a reading if I have time for that, I pay the bills, I check my emails, I go to work, I come home, I cook dinner, I clean up, and so sometimes we get into, that kind of a mode where we are just existing. Sometimes I forget, to just look around and be in joy and wonderment about what I have, about my property, about my life in general. I like it when I have something to look forward to. Tomorrow we're doing a craft fair. We have items to bring, and I'm going to offer readings. We'll see how that goes. We tried this in October, and unfortunately, the first one we did it with a brand new venue. They had never done it before, and it was out in a very country town in Maine, and we only sold one thing. I didn't do readings there because it wasn't that kind of a fair. But it was a little bit disheartening, and it made me wonder, well, should I even try this again? But we're doing it tomorrow, and my husband will be with me, helping me. We have lots of things that we've created and made, and I am going to be offering readings. So the reason for that is there's going to be all different types of people there. So I want to offer readings if people want them, but if they don't, we have plenty of things, that we can sell. Really cool things that he's made and carved, and some other things that I've made. So anyway, that's what I've been looking forward to for the past couple of months. I think I signed up for it in November. So I've been anxiously awaiting that. And then next, I'll be planning our summer trip. We always go away in July for my husband's birthday. And I like having something to look forward to. So thinking about it, planning it, figuring out what we're going to do, it's on the calendar and you're excited about it. It's like when you're a little kid and you look forward to Christmas, right? So if you don't have something like that, I would say think about something to look forward to. Get tickets to a play or a musical, or some event that you really want to do, so that your life is more than just every day I'm getting up and doing the same thing, right? Life is more than existing. Yeah, I'm just asking if Spirit has anything else to add. Lately they've had a lot to say about not getting sucked into social media. I know that's hard to say. People are all over it, and I'm on YouTube right now doing this. So, I mean, it's okay to have a healthy amount of that, but if you're spending too much time, gaming and watching TV and, stuff like that, TikTok, well, I don't think you can do that right now. You need to make sure that you're only doing that to a healthy extent, and you're not getting so involved in that you're not in reality, right? That you're not in reality. I've had a few friends, well, I won't say friends, right? I've known a few people that have actually lost their marriages because the person was just spending too much time on the computer, and their husband or wife, I don't want to give away any details, was like giving them an ultimatum. You can stop this and re-engage in our life, or that's it. And I know people that have been, younger people and even some older ones, that have been sucked into gaming so much that they don't do anything else but that. Go to work, come home, turn on the game system, and stay on it all night. This is not healthy, guys and gals. So I don't even remember how I got onto that, but Spirit never gives me a message that isn't needed. So I'm just going to have to trust that somebody out there needs to hear. Maybe they need to give that a little bit of rest. Maybe somebody in your family, because this is a family message, or a message about family, maybe somebody in your family needs a little bit of an intervention, or maybe you need to step in. I've had those arguments when my son was a teenager, and I remember those arguments about the game and spending too much time on the game and things like that. And it was hard. It was difficult, especially being a single mom with a teenage boy. That was difficult. But don't let things get too far, okay? Somebody needed to hear that. If there's somebody in your family that you're dealing with this, you need to get a hold of it early, okay? So it doesn't turn into an obsession. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, obsession. Being obsessed with gaming or TV or YouTube or, I don't know, Twitter, Instagram, any of those scrolling things, being obsessed with that is very unhealthy for your brain. I've seen articles about how your brain actually gets rewired, so you get so sleepy and bored if you're not constantly seeing new, the scrolling and seeing all those videos, and it's triggering things in your brain. So when you're just away from that and you're sitting in a normal circumstance, you are unstimulated. Your brain thinks that you are unstimulated. So it's like, oh, I guess I'll go to sleep because I'm not seeing all those things, okay? Thank you, Spirit. I don't know why I'm saying that. I honestly don't, but somebody must need to hear it. Okay, so Aquarius, family, let's see. This is the Gilded Tarot. First card out, Three of Wands. Threes are creation and collaboration. Wands are action and passion. But my guides have always given it to me that this is a choice card. This is a decision, right? What is going to happen next? Okay, so you see he's standing on the shore looking at the ship. Is he welcoming somebody in from the ship, or is he getting on the ship? So they're giving me, should I stay or should I go? Okay, should I stay or should I go? That's a song, I think, but I can't remember who sings that. Um, so some of you in the family situation may be having this dilemma on your hands. Do I stay in this relationship or do I leave it? So only you can figure that out, but you need to listen to your intuition. Okay, what is the decision? Are you all in or are you all out? You can't have one foot in and one foot on a banana peel when it comes to family. You've got to be all in, right? When you have children, you are committed for the rest of your life to being their parent. It's not when they're 18, bye-bye, that's it, right? You're committed. So the very next card is the 10 of Cups. This is beauty, abundance. This is a happy family card. It's not exactly the Four of Wands, but this is happy, joy, bounty, abundance, love. It's all of that. Just the picture on the card, all those cups, that's love, that's nurturing. The honeybees, the butterflies, the rainbow, the animals. I think in this card they depict two women having a conversation. There's a home in the background, not a mansion, but a very well-to-do home. So Aquarians, this is telling you this is what you can have, but it takes work to get there. Most people don't just kick back and say, okay, I don't have to do anything. My life is perfect. No, that's not how it goes, right? 9 of Wands. So this sometimes is called the Wounded Warrior card. You've been through a lot. You've done a lot. You've taken a lot of action. You've created a lot of things. And you're getting ready to be finished. Nines are accomplishment, right? So he's getting ready to plant that last wand, like, okay, whew, I'm all done with this. That's literally what they made me hear, like, whew, that was a lot of work and I'm finished. So what they're giving me the feeling of is you having children that are approaching 18 or have just turned 18 or in their senior year of high school, and they're getting ready to, you feel like, okay, we got through all of that. I've raised him or her. They're getting ready to spread their wings and go off on their own life. We did it. We made it. And I know what that feels like. And I distinctly remember when my son turned 18, I felt a burden was lifted because his father had taken us to court over and over and over. And my son is a type 1 diabetic. I know I've mentioned that before. And just getting him to adulthood, basically, I had this sense of relief. So that's the feeling they're giving me about that 9 of Wands card, is getting to that point where, most of the work is done when we raise our children to 18, right? Yes, they still need us and we're still there, but hopefully we've given them a good base, right? A good base upbringing. We've taught them good morals, good integrity. We've gotten them through school. We've gotten them through their challenges of, maybe first loves or bullies at school or not fitting in or figuring out who they are. So when you get to that point, it's like, okay, we're here now. And now you can begin to be more like a friend and confidant to your kids. Once your kids get to 18, 19, 20, then you can start to be more of a sounding board, a person they go to for advice. It's not the same as the responsibility we have when we're raising them, right? When they're little kids and babies. Thank you, Spirit. I don't know who needed that message, but so when we get our kids to that, now there are some people, more women, I think more moms, I guess, than dads. We kind of feel a little bit hollow, like, okay, are they going to still need me? Are they still going to want to spend time with me? So this can also be a feeling of a wounded warrior, like I've done all this work and now for instance, there were a lot of times when my son, I just felt like, oh, he doesn't love me. He never talks to me anymore. Well, when kids are breaking free, breaking the apron strings, so to speak, they do kind of go off on their own a little bit, and they come back. I had advice from people that said he'll be back. Don't worry. He's spreading his wings. He doesn't want any. He wants to make his own decisions and this and that, and they were right. Our relationship got much better, I think, when he was around 22. And it's now he's 31, and it's even more so. I like that he texts me when he has a milestone or completes something or does something he's proud of. He always lets me know, and that makes me feel good. I'm still involved, right? No, he doesn't call me every day and ask for my advice on his love life and things like that, but he does include me in all of the things that he feels are important. So that's good. Okay, wow, Spirit. That was a lot of time spent on that. All right, and the next row is the Eight of Swords. All right, family, Eight of Swords. What does this mean? The Eight of Swords is usually you, the person watching this, trapping yourself in your own thoughts that are, let's say, not positive, right? It could be beating yourself up about your parenting skills, beating yourself up about your husband or wife skills or partner or lover or whatever it is. Sister, brother, I mean, it could be any of these, right? I've had that situation in my own life. I have a sister who doesn't talk to me. It's been over a year. It was very, very painful, and I begged her not to do that. I begged her to talk to me, to tell me what the problem was. What did I do? Can we fix this? And I was beating myself up. Oh, you don't know how many hours I spent going over conversations, things I said. I reread text messages. I thought about all the things. I looked at dates and conversations and tried to figure this out, making myself feel bad and responsible for her choice not to talk to me. I finally had to say, you know what? I've done everything that I can do. I've asked, I've begged, I've tried. I still send her birthday cards and Christmas cards. I still put on there, I'll never give up hope that you'll talk to me again. But at first, I was taking on all of the blame and responsibility for that. And we can't do that, right? We can't trap ourselves in our own negativity when it comes to situations. You can only do so much. And if the other person isn't going to meet you halfway, then that's on them, not you. Okay. So if there's a situation like that where you are blaming yourself for something, this is, you need to let go of that, right? You need to take off the blindfold. You need to unchain your hands, and you need to be able to move on. The same can be said about parenting, right? You've done it already. You've done your parenting. You've done the work, and you can't beat yourself up about it. We can have conversations. I've had conversations with both my daughter and my son. My daughter is much older. There's 14 years between my two kids. So I've had many conversations with her about how my mothering skills as a very young mother in my late teens and early 20s, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? I was still a kid myself, but I wanted to get out of my house. Anyway, that's a story for another time. And I've had many conversations with her about that, and I understand her point of view and how it felt to her having me as a mother as a late teenager and what that must have been like. And so, but I couldn't also, I had to come to the conclusion and in our talk say, I can't go back and do that over. All we can do is move on from here. And luckily we have. There have been many bumps in the road, don't get me wrong, but you just can't hold yourself hostage like that with your thoughts. Wow, this reading is turning out to be, they're giving me life lessons, and that comes back to that failure card, right? But this number 1 card, right? Life is more than existing. We have to get out of this 9 of Wands, this 8 of Swords. We have to move on. And the next card is Death. This is Scorpio. This is the only sign that you have in your reading, but this is the death of the old way of doing things. This is move on in a different way. Move on in a different way. And they're giving me again the empty nesters, what do I do with myself now, right? And some people just feel like, especially moms, their purpose is gone. Now, I'm sure dads miss their daughters and sons as well, but typically dads are able to handle that. Males are able to handle that a little bit more easily than the moms. So you have to find ways to move on because your life will look different. When your kids are older, your life looks very different. And you have to find different ways of being a parent, right? Even different ways of being a spouse. Because there are some times when marriages break up after the kids are gone. Because what was holding things together was the mutual parenting, right? So you may have to look at things differently because it's going to be different, right? I don't know why that, because we're in January, so maybe some of you are coming up to May and June graduations and going to college. Maybe some of your kids have just been in college for a few months. I really feel like these messages are kind of targeted at some Aquarians where their kids are getting older or have just left on their own life. Possibly some of you have kids that have just gotten married, right? And so the life is all different when that happens. But it's a good thing, right? We need to grow and change, walk our paths like this. The choice. Where do we go from here? What's going to be different? What do we choose? Let me think. And also, if your kids are younger, even if they're in middle school and you're listening to this, you can start thinking about it now, creating those bonds and thinking about what it will be like later, right? And just creating those bonds with your kids, those open doors, so to speak, policies where you can listen and talk to them. One of the things that my kids always knew is that they could talk to me about anything, and I wouldn't, if they were honest with me, then I wouldn't fly off the handle about things. Like they could come and talk to me about, anything, about, smoking weed or, friends that were doing other drugs or parties they were invited to, anything at all. And I would not freak out. That was one of the things that I don't know, but God gave me the strength to be the type of mother that I could listen to the whole thing and then have a talk. And so my kids, they're adults now, but they know that they can tell me anything. My son recently went through something at work where there was a girl there that was kind of trying to tell people that he was harassing her. And, he talked to me about it. Luckily, he had saved a bunch of messages that she had sent him. And, it all was nothing. He didn't do anything wrong at all. But she was mad because he didn't want to be her boyfriend. He just wanted to be friends. And so she tried to lash out. This whole Me Too movement has made it very easy for women to do that. And so he was really worried. He was really scared about it. And he talked to me about it. He told me everything about their friendship and what had happened in conversations. And I was grateful that he felt that he could tell me all those things and not hide it from me. And we were able to talk through it. And so anyway, but you have to start creating that when they're young. If they feel like you're a pure disciplinarian and you're going to judge them or be mad at them or ground them or yell at them, I'm not saying I never grounded my kids because I did, but usually with my son, because I was an older parent then, I was 31 when I had him. I was much different than a 19 or 20-year-old parent, right? I would often ask him, well, what do you think your punishment should be for doing this? And we would have those conversations, and so anyway, wow, this has really gone in a whole different direction than I even thought. So going forward with a new plan, with a new way of being, and it's never too late to change things, right? It's never too late to change things, I will say. All right, last card out, 5 of Cups. Okay, this is my crying over spilled milk card, right? That's what he's doing right now because he's looking at these spilled cups and he's not paying attention to the full cups, the beautiful tree over here with all the fruit and all the things that he can have. 5s are change. So you have 2 change cards right in a row. So what they're giving me for this card, it's another example. I'm sorry, but this is what they're telling me to tell you. as I was growing up, I did not have a good relationship with my mother. And I would see other kids with their mothers, especially girls, daughters, and just always wish that that was my relationship with my mother. I never felt like she loved me. I never felt like she accepted me. I never felt like I mattered to her. And I was in my 30s. It was after I had my son, in fact, that she started to be a little bit more caring toward me. Um, and I always just wanted to have that relationship that other people had with their moms. And I didn't see the value in the relationship that I had with my mom until I became a mother to my son. Because then I said, I am not going to mother him like she mothered me. And then I also changed a lot of things about my relationship with my daughter after I had my son. I learned how not to be a mom from my mom, basically. So if she's passed away now, and I have dealt with a lot of those things. When she was dying, she wanted me there, and it was very weird to me because suddenly she wanted me there, and all of her friends after she passed away were telling me how proud she was of me, and I'm like, what? Why? She never told me this. Like, I didn't know this. So I'm telling you this story because if you are proud of your kids, if you love your kids, if there are things that you don't say, say them, because eventually you won't be able to. It was very hard for me to accept that my mother wanted to hold my hand and hug me, and she wanted me there to comfort her in when she knew that she was dying. And I was just like, where is this coming from? Why is she doing this? I don't understand this, you know. So that was really difficult. I know this has been kind of a rough kind of family reading, Aquarius, but I only tell you what my guides are giving me to tell you. So the overall message of the tarot portion of this, as well as the failure, is you can change things now. You can change your relationships with your kids. I'm feeling this is mostly to do with kids, but also with your spouse, right? You can change that for the better. You can move on and get to a better place with this. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of dumbfounded by the whole thing because it's not a reading that I would ever have expected my guides to give me, but obviously somebody needs this. But just remember that right in the middle of this is that 10 of Cups, right? But also, everybody's 10 of Cups is different, right? Like me making the mistake, I guess, of looking at other relationships as a kid and wishing I had that, instead of trying to figure out how to navigate the one that I had. I just kind of shut down. I just didn't really try because I just didn't feel loved. I mean, it continued on into adulthood where I would try to be there for my mom. I can remember this one situation where it was going to be Christmas Day. We had all gotten together Christmas Eve, my two sisters and their kids and whatnot. And I lived the closest to my mom. I only lived 20 minutes away. And this was when my son was maybe 7 or 8. And so my mom and stepdad were going to be alone on Christmas Day. So I said, oh, well, Brian and I will come over tomorrow. And she's like, what for? And I said, well, I don't want you to be alone on Christmas. And she's like, no, it's fine. We all got together today, so, don't worry about it. She never thought about the fact that maybe I didn't want to be alone on Christmas Day, just me and Brian. Maybe, she didn't even think about my feelings about that. And I will never forget that. I will never forget how that made me feel. So this is why it continued to be such a struggle. And I just didn't understand. Why would you not want your daughter and grandson to spend the day with you? This is an opportunity to spend the day. Anyway, so please just be aware of that. And if you are a child and of parents who you have similar situations, open up and tell them the truth. I should have just told her, Mom, I don't want to be by myself on Christmas Day. Can we come over? Maybe she would have understood more, but I didn't do that. So, part of that, I take the blame for part of that. I should have been honest. And if you are a parent and your kids have said similar things to you, try to think about what is their reason for saying something or doing something or asking something, okay? Whew. Okay. Choices, decisions, right? 10 of Cups feeling, 9 of Wands, getting to the end of a situation, as in you've raised the child, you've put in the work. 8 of Swords, not beating yourself up about some situation to do with your family, and being able to get out of that, take the blinders off, see things as they are. The Death card, Scorpio possibly, or, definitely doing things in a different way. 5 of Cups, change, doing things differently, seeing it differently, right? Looking at what you do have and building on that. Build on the relationship that you do have, right? I understand that a mistake is an opportunity to learn, okay? Life is an expression of you. Life is more than just existing. Find those beautiful moments, those beautiful spots, right? Okay, we're going to close with an animal oracle card, Aquarians. I hope that this has helped somebody out there, even if it only helps one person. My guides have told me this many, many times. Obviously, somebody needed, oh boy, couldn't get a better animal oracle to end that reading. Dear love, my guides have told me many times, don't worry about how many people see your message, because the person who's supposed to see it will see it. All right. Dear love, be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. Yes, Aquarians, dear love, beautiful card. Be gentle with yourself. If you feel like you have failed in some way, be gentle with yourself, right? Things that are challenging help us to grow. Help you, help your spouse, help your kids, whatever, grandkids, whoever it may be, niece, nephew, okay? And maybe some of you have a special niece or nephew that you can use this message for, okay? Maybe some of you are grandparents and you can help your children be better parents with what you've seen and heard from Spirit today. Okay, I truly hope this has helped someone in some way. Thank you so very much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.